you can bring the arcade experience home because your vision is our vision. ColecoVision. You are the player, because your vision is our vision. The player.
Sorry. I play on ColecoVision.
You are the player.
Hello everyone. Recently, ColecoVisions Podcast had the opportunity to interview a Homebrew developer for the ColecoVision system. That interview will be on the next installment of the ColecoVisions Podcast that comes out in January 2015. Now, this homebrewer, Mr. Todd Spangler from Parkfun Games, created a ColecoVision game last year called Tank Challenge, a 2-player tank game. It is really cool. It's being distributed by ColecoVision Games. Another game that Todd's working on, which this video will show a little sneak peek of, is called Light Cycle. Really cool game. I had a lot of fun playing it with Todd. Todd has also programmed a couple other games on the PC that are free. The first one's called Bots vs. Machines. You can find this game on Newgrounds and give it a play. It's a action strategy type game. It is really cool to play. Another game Todd has created is called Sinkhole Crisis. Kind of like a Mr. Do, Dig Dug kind of game a little bit. It is awesome. I've been playing it quite a bit after he showed it to me. So let's get to some of the cool gameplay of this new game that Todd is coming out with.
Yeah, put an underscore so I know which ones are mine. I did an update. This one works a little better. Alright, at this point you have 5 modes. These are the arcade modes. The graphics are going to be totally different when the arcade thing's ready to go, because I just stuck this here just so I can get stuff to work. And the enhanced, this is just 1 player versus computer, but again it's going to have more levels. And at this point it just has 1 still, because I need to get back into it and I was tweaking some things. This is the 1 player versus 2 player, and then this is the 1 player and 2 player versus computer.
Oh, wow.
Which was one of the ideas of one of the guys on Atari Age.
Yeah.
I was thinking, can I do that? And because the thing is, I had to make my own routine for. I didn't really want the game to flicker a lot. I'd use flickering for Tank Challenge. And I've had to make my own, and I've come up with some better concepts that work. But I made one because of each character has 2 sprites. I don't know if you knew about how you can only have 4 sprites on one line, otherwise it starts flickering or disappears. And so what I did is there's only going to be 4 characters on the screen at all anyway. So what I do is just make one of those colors go away. And that way you never really have flickering, you just have one of the colors disappear. Which looks nicer because you don't see this blah, blah, blah thing, which looks really annoying and stuff. Oh, yeah. And then you have to have a timer in there so that it won't slow the game down and all this other stuff. And Tank Challenge I didn't even know about. I used delay and didn't realize delay actually delays the whole game. It only has a teeny bit of a delay, but it only happens once in a while where you have them all in a line anyway, because you have to have a tank, a guy, and then someone have to be firing. Yeah. Or then you start seeing a little bit of a slowdown, but only when that happens. With this one, you're not going to have that. It's not going to slow down at all, which is great. But again, Tank Challenge, it never happened when we tested. So let me just show you. All right, so this is just the arcade version.
Wow.
Sweet.
Wow.
It took me a while to get that.
Dude.
You like it? And so, see the 3rd character, see how it's displaying?
Yeah. Wow.
You like it? I've never had anybody else play it or look at it. So.
Dude,
Does the 2-player work?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to try this.
All right, cool. Let me just switch back to...
That is too awesome.
Oh, and anytime you can press the... Oh, and here's another little thing. For testing purpose, but I'm going to leave it in the game. Let's say you're some guy that just really wants to beat the high score and you don't really care about seeing a and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can just press the O button and go right
to the game.
And I'm going to leave that in the game because I know some guy might want to beat the high score or something, and could just leave that. Also, there is a high score at this point. You don't notice it unless you go to like 2-player. And I did 2-player the way they did. I even looked at the way they do the screens. I had to actually videotape it, so I could see what screen comes next. Like for instance, like let's say you're playing 2-player, and I die and you're player 2. After you die, it says, or after I die, it'll say player 2 up. And then I had to get that, so I got that exact screen, and it makes it look. Well, I'll just show you real quick so you can see. Because this would be if I was playing 2-player, but it's the arcades where it just alternates. And so let me just show you real quick. Let me just jump right into it, and I'll die real quick. And then it goes player 2 up, and then player 2 would use a separate controller.
I'll be darned.
Let me see, I ran into it before. And even designed so that you can run directly into each other, because I think the arcade, I can't remember if you can do it, so it has ties built in. So if I just like run into the guy, it counts as a loss though. Still gives you points sometimes, at this point, but it counts as a loss because I figured that would make more sense. And see, I couldn't show high score or anything because of, you also have a pause feature. Well, you can't pause when the game... At this point, I need to put some timers in there so it's not using delay. Otherwise, you can't pause because it doesn't. You can't do it because you can't press anything while there's a delay.
Right.
I think it's this button. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can pause it doing that, and then you can press the button again. But when you press, that's one problem. Let me see if it does it. Yeah. Anytime you press the button, it comes back. I may have to make it so that if you're pressing this and then press one of these, it doesn't automatically put you in a turbo mode. It's not a big deal because it's just a pause.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to use it that much. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, you see how in the arcade their difference is that where there'd be 2 lines of text at the top. But again, because it's ColecoVision, there's not going to be as much space doing that. And so I listened to people online, and I showed them the options, and they said they'd rather just have it look like that. But in the 2-player mode, you saw when it said player 2 up, it would actually look like the arcade for a second and show like high score and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that way you can still see who the high score is and everything. I don't know what you think about this, but what I did is the high score, it depends on which mode you're on. So in other words, if you beat a high score on like just the very first mode, which is 1-player, and it says like 38,000 or something, and then you go down to like player 1 and 2 versus computer, and then you get like the high score on that one, it's not going to affect the other high score. Like they're stored separately. I mean, what do you think? Because it kind of makes sense, because if it's player 1 and player 2, it's kind of like you'd be cheating if you say, oh, I got 38,000 in the cycle game. Which mode? You know what I mean? So, because then you'd be like, oh, it was on this mode, not this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I figured it kind of needed to have its own mode for that, or have separate values. Obviously, 1-player versus 2-player. Oh, and show you how 1-player versus 2-player is almost like combat, where it like keeps your wins, so that way you can play each other, and then it would just have like win 1, and then it goes 2, and all that stuff. And if you crash into each other, it just says draw. Or I think that's and then also I made sure, I think I did it. Yeah, let me show you something real quick. All right, I think on this one and anything down here, well, these two, not this one. Let me just see real quick. Let me die real quick. Oops, I didn't press on. Yeah, it took me a while to get that. That was the hardest part of the game so far, getting this guy to look so perfect. And that sound, I tested the sound forever trying to get the sound right, and then it crashed on purpose so I can show you something. I think I made it say end of line instead of game over.
Oh.
Because I was like, that's kind of important, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to remember if I didn't, I'm gonna write it down to make sure I put that in there. It's really easy to do. And it even has your ranking too, and it goes based on how many you killed, or how many, let's see if it says end of line. Nope, I need to change that. I need to change that to end of line instead of game over. But it shows the ranking just like the arcade. Let me write that down because I don't want to forget. Because people were saying how they, I tried to, some of the sound effects I worked on for like 2 hours for like one sound effect. Like that little surprisingly, I did in 15 minutes. I was like, holy crap, it sounds just like the arcade. I kept on playing both of them. I was like, I can't even get any better than that. It sounds just like the arcade. And then for the bikes driving, when we play 2-player, what it's going to do at this point, I may change it because I want to see how it sounds. It's actually 2 sounds playing at once to make that kind of echoey type sound. And that's how they would make the bikes do like that. When it's 2-player, let's say you make a turn or you press the button to go faster, and you can press either one. I did that in case someone's controller's messed up on one button. Just try to, and also you don't have
right, left hand.
Yeah, this game you never have to use the buttons at all. Again, I could put it in there as an option, but again, what if someone's never played? ColecoVision has so many problems. I try to make it so you just have to use these. That way, if you buy Sega Genesis controller, you can still play it.
Yeah.
I just do that just for that, just because of the ColecoVision's problems, hardware problems. But right now, like I said, this is in the works to test. What I might do is, because it has 2 sounds at once, I can't do 4 because the sounds will overlap the other sound, because there's like only 2 channels you can use anyway for those 2 sounds. And what I might right now, if you go burn like that, it'll change to your sound, and then if I do it, it'll still go burn like that. But it won't do both of them at the same time. So you'll hear as you make a turn or press the button, you'll hear the sound change. We'll see how it is. I've never played 2-player, so we'll see how it is. But if it sounds horrible, I'm gonna switch it so it just uses one of the sounds. That way, both of our sounds will be separate. There's also some minor things, like sometimes it gets quiet. What happens is, like, if I'm going like, it gets quiet after a while because the sound needs to be extended. I've just learned how to add sounds together. If I can get that right note and just have that same note, that last note, and just have it extended. That way, if it does that, I go, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just leave it as a note just so it won't end.
Yeah.
Also, like little things like when you crash, right now I have it so it's stopping the sounds. I'm going to tweak that. I don't think I need that anymore. I was doing that because originally you'd win and your sound was still going, and that was kind of annoying. But I can put that in there. I think I can just put it in there when you win, and as you won, like if this depends on how many characters there are, then it'll just stop the sounds at that point, which is supposed to, then it'll play its little routine it does. But when you just crash in general, there's some little things I have to tweak. This game's definitely not totally ready for me to even get to the AI. I want to do that last.
Right.
But let's play 2-player. Okay, hang on, let me get this a little closer. I love this little table. I can move it. Alright. Okay, here we go.
I have the green bike.
Oh yeah, I added a green just because. Whoa! That was cool. We weren't trying to do that.
To a mirror image.
Oh! That was cool because we were both going straight at each other. Oh, and also right now, you'll see how it has that menu at the bottom. It's telling you basically, just like in Tank Challenger, you could press this. I didn't do a huge box like I did in the old one. I wanted people to be able to see the whole screen.
Yeah.
And then the area, if I press left,
Whoa.
I'll be able to change. And right now, for some reason, it's got a little glitch. I'll have to fix some stuff. But basically, it's going to be like Tank Challenge. When I press right, it'll change the screen so I can see what that next screen looks like. Because there's going to be, I'm hoping to at least have 10 levels.
Okay.
Right now, I'm at 19.2 kilobytes, and most of the hard stuff's out of the way. It's just the AI, some little tweaks, which those shouldn't even be factored in, new levels and new weapons. I think that's the only things left, and that should allow me. Right now, I'm just gonna say 10 to 15 levels I should be able to have. I don't. It depends too if I decide to make that other thing. I don't know if I told you I was gonna make it so that we could do it. So that if an enemy character hit the wall, that it would destroy the hole in the wall, and then if one of your bikes goes in the wall, then you'll be have to escape the tanks or something like that. I don't know if I'll be able to do that because of constraints. But I'll see which one. What I might do is see how many levels I can make just to do a test. This should be easier than Tank Challenge because there's not as much to it. But I'll have to see. So it would be kind of cool to be able to get through that hole, and then you have to like dodge the tanks, and then if you get to a certain point, maybe you get like 2,000 points or something for touching this whatever it is. But we'll see. So, all right. So I just press. Let me see if I can press the right button. Okay, cool. Whoa.
just leave you up there.
I'm gonna go slow. Oh, you did lock me in, didn't you?
I'll block you in.
And it looks like you're gonna hit the wall, but you're not. I had to do it like that just to. I'm just gonna sit up here for a while. I'm gonna get run out. I think you're gonna win. Here we go.
Oh!
Oh, whoops! That's a bug. Hang on. I need to write that down. Hang on 1 second. You can just jump by. You can hold the controller and just. I need to write that down. I need to put a delay after you crash. What happens? I had one of us. Or
I had the button pushed.
I had the button pushed too, and so it was a draw. But after a draw, it needs to give you like a 30-second delay, or not 30 second, like a 5-second delay, so you can't just hold the button down and go, oh, and then it skips. Same thing happened in Tank Challenge until I fixed it.
Okay.
It's an easy fix. It's like a one-line code fix. But I gotta write that down. I'll just bring this in here so I can write stuff down. Yeah, I just put it in my pocket. Yeah, this is what happened when I had Tank Challenge. I first gave it to a friend, got him to play in it. Never even played ColecoVision. Got them to come in here and they played it. All these, immediately the game only had, I think 8 directions. And they were just like, said how awkward it was. So then I went and made it 16 directions. So I was writing all these things down. Once I made 16 directions, got them back in here, they loved it after that point. They were just like, this is so cool, da 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 da. And they were they were just laughing and crap, just everything. All right, I'll just leave this right here for now. I'm sure we'll find other issues. Let me just jump by again. Now imagine this, because understand this is the kind of like the arcade mode. Now I say this, it's enhanced mode because they don't have this in the arcade.
Correct.
But imagine it with little obstacles all over here, and the little thing like if you touch this, you're gonna have something that blows your line up, or now I'm invincible. Now I'm chasing you, trying to run you over, and then that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That could be so much more fun and just bring a whole another element, maybe a little teleporter thing. I mean, it won't be all in the same screen. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do like it in Tank Challenge, have a little bit, and then as you get a little further in, like more levels, and then it gets more and more complex, because you notice in Tank Challenge, you go to the very last level, it's like really complex with stuff in there, and there's like invisible this, and then it might be something like that. It'd be kind of cool. So.
Oh, you always go opposite. That's funny.
Whoa.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh! After all that. Oh, it says draw, not tie. It says draw. Oh, yeah, it did say draw. Okay. Oh, it did it again. Jump right into it. Now it's like a waiting game. Oh, you're in the... Whoa!
Oh! I didn't quite make it.
Oh! You're trying to do the same thing I did. I was like, I'm gonna go around. That's cool. Oh, and there's code in there that actually had to put this in there, that if two people, basically if I crash into a line or anything, it's gonna check to make sure I'm not also overlapping one of the guys, like I think overlapping a part of them. If it does, then it'll crash both of them. Because it wasn't as easy as I thought, because I think in the arcade there was some actual bugs I found in the arcade. Some of it you can visually see, like this, the line's perfectly behind the bike, just like the movie. In the arcade, if you notice, you can see it's like 1 pixel to the right.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, so I just didn't do that. I mean, I could do that, but it's like, it's not that big a deal. If someone's like really into the arcade, they'd be like, you didn't put the pixel like that. I'd be like, I don't care. You're having fun anyway, right? So that's the whole point. Oh no!
Oh! I didn't turn.
That was nice. That was nice.
A freak out.
You tricked me because I thought you were going to go slow again. That was awesome. Oh no.
Oh, I
I knew what you were going to do. I knew what you were going to do. I was like trying to get back over there.
I was had to block you in. I like how you see the little flashing dot in the bike.
You do like that?
I like
that. Was
that.
actually a glitch.
That's kind of cool.
It's actually a glitch I was trying to cover up, but because I can only have 2 colors for the bike, this looks so much better on that because you can see the graphics really well. Right now you can barely tell. You can kind of tell. You can see the 2 different colors. There's one lighter color. I might make that green a little bit like one of the lighter color, a little bit lighter using like white or something that might look okay. I had to toy around with it. I actually have it coded so there's several different colors I can choose from already. I can just say...
You thought about having a screen where you could select what color you want your bike?
Or maybe what I could do is, something like that. I have to see what would be easiest for the player. I mean, maybe it's you press one of these buttons and you pick a different color.
You have like orange.
And maybe you could change the color while you're playing.
Red.
So like, you're like, and then it just stays that way.
orange white? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then it would just like know that you're that. That color. I didn't want to use the same bike as the one from the computer character color because I was like, well, you already have the computer character color, that orangey kind of color.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't we just make it green or something? Something different.
Green's good.
Yeah, green's cool. And then some of them had to toy around. One I had that was like, it was black, and then all you saw was like basically just like this like white silhouette of the bike or something. I was like, whoa, that looks kind of cool too. But I don't know. That looks more like the Tron Legacy, not Legacy, the newer, was it new, whatever the newer one is that Legacy? I can't remember which one, because there's like 3 of them in there. Because they're working on a 3rd one, you know that, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Oh, I was trying to get you to follow me. Deja vu. Been here before. Oh, look at this.
You got more room. But who will make it?
Now, like you're saying, this is when the extra stuff would come in handy in these situations.
Yeah. And then I might, maybe one of the levels, if I decide not to do the thing with the going through the hole, it gets tricky here though. So you can make it. Oh. I didn't mean to do that.
I survived.
You are the player, because your vision is our vision. The player.
Sorry. I played on ColecoVision.
You are the player. You are the player.
Sorry. I played on ColecoVision.
You are the player.